Good morning, India. It's just past 8 this 10th October morning, and we're back again with Breakfast Show. I'm Anil Thomas. Over the next 1 hour, we'll take you through the major happenings across India and the globe from the field of politics, business and sports. Also, a regular segment on health and weather. Our top focus over the day, government extending the Aadhaar seeding date for PM Kisan scheme till November 30th. And 2 months after travel ban, Kashmir opens for tourists from today. Also, the second test match between India and South Africa set to begin in Pune in a little while from now. Will spin be a key factor there? That's worth looking out for. Also, the significance of the day today. The significance of the day today world over is that it's celebrated as World Mental Health Day. And the theme for this year is 40 seconds of action. The primary focus is suicide prevention. We'll be getting live inputs from our correspondents on various angles to the top stories. But first up this Thursday morning, the headlines we are tracking at the top of this hour. Union Cabinet approves extension of benefits under the Prime Minister rehabilitation package for 5,300 displaced families of Jammu and Kashmir. Each family that initially moved outside J&K but later returned and settled in the state to be given 5.5 lakh rupees. Cabinet announces 5% hike in DNS allowance for central government employees and pensioners. Also approves relaxation till 30th of November for mandatory requirement of Aadhaar seeded data for beneficiaries of the PM Kisan scheme. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh meets the captains of French industries in Paris. Says government will consider further tax rationalization to encourage investments under Make in India scheme. In international news, Nobel Prize in Chemistry awarded to John Goodenough of United States, Britain's Stanley Whittingham and Japan's Akira Oshino for the development of lithium-ion batteries that sparked portable technology revolution. Turkey launches ground offensive and airstrikes in northern Syria. European Union urges Turkey to halt military operation in Syria. United Nations Security Council meet on Syria today. In sports, India to take on South Africa in the second test match in Pune. Hosts India lead the 3-match series 1-0. And in women's cricket, India beat South Africa by 8 wickets in the first ODI at Vadodara, take a 1-0 lead in the 3-match one-day series. And now for the stories in detail. The Union Cabinet on Wednesday took a slew of decisions that touch upon a range of sectors. It approved the inclusion of 5,300 displaced families of Jammu and Kashmir who initially opted to move outside the state of Jammu and Kashmir but later returned and settled in the state, terming the decision as one aimed at correcting a historic wrong. Besides that, it approved the relaxation of Aadhaar seeding of data for beneficiaries of the Pradhanmantri Kisan Samman Nidhi and a 5% DNS allowance hike for central government employees and pensioners. Here's more.
The Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Modi, on Wednesday approved the inclusion of 5,300 displaced families of Jammu and Kashmir 1947 who initially opted to move outside J&K but later on returned and settled in the valley. In the rehabilitation package approved by the Cabinet on 30th November 2016. The approval will enable such families to become eligible to get one-time financial assistance of 5.5 lakh rupees under the existing scheme and in turn be able to get sustained income which the existing scheme is aimed at. Union Minister Prakash Javadekar said a historical wrong has been corrected by the government.
महत्वपूर्ण फैसले में इन सभी 5,300 डिस्प्लेस परिवारों को भी ये 5.5 लाख रुपए प्रति परिवार देने का एक ऐतिहासिक निर्णय हुआ. ये उनके साथ न्याय हुआ है.
And then came a government bonanza for central government employees and pensioners. The Union Cabinet also approved to release an additional installment of DNS allowance to central government employees and DNS relief to pensioners with effect from 1st July this year, representing an increase of 5% over the existing rate of 12% of the basic pay or the pension to compensate for price rise. This increase is in accordance with the accepted formula, which is based on the recommendations of the 7th Central Pay Commission.
डीए में 5% हुई है। पिछले अनेक सालों में 2 या 3% ही ग्रोथ होती थी। इस बार लगभग 16,000 करोड़ रुपए इसके एवज में दिए जाएंगे और इसका फायदा लगभग 50 लाख केंद्र सरकार के कर्मचारी और 65 लाख जिनको पेंशन मिलता है उनको मिलेगा।
The Union Cabinet was also apprised of the progress under the National Health Mission and decisions of the Empowered Program Committee and the Mission Steering Group of the National Health Mission.
हमें पूरा उम्मीद है कि जो 2030 तक का गोल है सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंटल गोल्स के अंदर जो टारगेट है कि भाई मैटरनल मोर्टालिटी 70 तक पहुंचानी है या अंडर 5 मोर्टालिटी 25 तक पहुंचानी, ये सब जो गोल्स हैं इनको हम समय से पहले पूरा करेंगे।
Decisions have also been taken for the welfare of the farmers. The Union Cabinet has approved the relaxation of the mandatory requirement of Aadhaar CD data as a precondition for release of funds to the beneficiaries under the Pradhanmantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme. The scheme provides income support of 6,000 rupees per year to landholding families subject to certain exclusions. The amount is released in 3-4 monthly installments of 2,000 rupees each directly to the bank accounts of the beneficiaries through the DBT mode. With inputs from Shailendra Mishra and DD India.
Well, 126 IPS probationers of the 2018 batch called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi on Wednesday. Interacting with the probationers, the Prime Minister enthused the young officers to work tirelessly with dedication for the betterment of the nation. He asked the officers to imbibe service orientation and dedication in their day-to-day work. The Prime Minister stressed on the importance for the police force to be connected with ordinary citizens. He said that each officer should understand the citizens' perspective about the police force and work towards making the police force citizen-friendly and approachable. Prime Minister said that the role of the police should be focused on crime prevention. He highlighted the importance of technology in creating a modern police force. Wishing the officers a bright future, Prime Minister asked the officers to believe in themselves. He added that self-confidence and inherent strength, also along with official training, will equip the officers to deal with day-to-day challenges. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday attended the at-home program of the Indian Air Force to mark its 87th Raising Day and released a commemorative stamp to honor the Marshal of the Indian Air Force, late Arjun Singh. The Prime Minister also witnessed an exhibition on self-reliance through innovation in New Delhi. The at-home event was organized as part of the Air Force Day celebrations. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, during his visit to France, addressed captains of the French defense industry in Paris, assuring them that India may consider further tax rationalization to encourage investments through the Make in India route. Here's what transpired in the defense minister's engagements in France on Wednesday.
After the Rafale induction ceremony, the annual defense dialogue between Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and the French Minister for Armed Forces, Florence Parly, was yet another pointer that partnerships between the two countries is not limited to military hardware alone. The two sides have agreed to deepen the collaborations to make more areas like joint military exercises and other challenges of the geopolitical environment relevant. There are geopolitical determinants and interests that impact trade limits too in a variety of fields. When Defense Minister visited the Safran engine manufacturing unit on the outskirts of Paris, opportunities for collaborations for both military and civil aircraft engine unfurled. Besides manufacturing engines for fighter jets, this company controls over 50% of the global market for commercial aircraft engines. The the company has already set up facilities in Hyderabad. Its CEO and other captains of industry who have gathered to meet the defense minister in Paris are showcasing the new opportunities of collaborations in India.
For Make in India in defense, if there is need for further tax rationalization, it may be considered suitably. We have set up 2 defense corridors in India in Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu and offer attractive terms for investment.
Speaking to captains of French industries in Paris, Mr. Rajnath Singh said the government may consider rationalizing the taxes further to encourage investments through the Make in India route.
The opportunities have reached a new high. The Safra company that produces the engines for both the Rafale and Mirage fighter jets also manufactures the LEAP engines, the giant LEAP engines that go into the commercial aircraft like Boeing. Now, this company wants to set up a hub in India as part of the Make in India drive with Smriti Mahapatra, Rudranath Sanyal from the outskirts of Paris.
Well, Thailand Foreign Minister arrived in New Delhi on Wednesday on a 3-day visit to India with an aim to boost bilateral relations. The Thai Foreign Minister will today meet the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and will participate in the 8th Joint Commission meeting between India and Thailand. Last month, the troops of India and Thailand participated in the annual joint military exercise Maitri. Some updates now from the poll-bound states of Haryana. Home Minister and BJP National President Amit Shah campaigned for the party in Haryana on Wednesday. He took on the Congress over the issue of the integration of Jammu and Kashmir and the acquisition of the Rafale fighter jets. The elections in Haryana are scheduled for October 21st along with Maharashtra. Here's more.
Electioneering is picking up pace in poll-bound Haryana. BJP chief Amit Shah on Wednesday addressed public rallies in Kaithal and Bhiwani, attacking the Congress over abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. Amit Shah said BJP has done what 3 generations of Congress could not do.
कई लोग आए, कई लोग चले गए, 3-3 पीढ़ियों तक शासन करा, मगर हिम्मत नहीं थी धारा 370 हटाने की। ये हरियाणा की जनता ने मोदी जी को प्रधानमंत्री बनाया। पहले ही संसद के सत्र के अंदर धारा 370 को हटाकर कश्मीर को भारत का अभिन्न अंग बनाया।
Talking about Rafale fighter aircraft, Amit Shah said Prime Minister Narendra Modi made acquisition of the fighter aircraft a reality for India, and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh performed Shastra Puja on Vijayadashmi. However, the Congress turned it into an issue for criticism. BJP chief also said, ahead of polls to the states of Haryana and Maharashtra, Congress is directionless.
चुनाव शुरू हुआ है और चुनाव इस प्रकार से शुरू हुआ है कि हमारे विरोधियों को मालूम ही नहीं पड़ता कि पूरब से शुरू करे, पश्चिम से करे, उत्तर से करे, दक्षिण को करे, कोई दिशा सूझती नहीं है। अब उनको राजनीति कहां से शुरू करनी, क्या करना, मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में दिशा का भी भान नहीं रहा।
Meanwhile, former Haryana party president of the Congress party, Ashok Tawar, has turned into a rebel. After resigning from the party, he has pledged to campaign against those responsible for Congress's downfall, including former Chief Minister Bhupinder Singh Hooda. With Bureau Inputs, DD India.
Wednesday was the last day for filing of nominations to elections to chairpersons of the Block Development Councils or the BDCs in the 310 blocks of Jammu and Kashmir. The scrutiny of nominations will be held today, and Friday is the last day for withdrawal of nominations. The process of elections for the second tier of the Panchayati Raj system will be completed on November 5th. The elections are being held on party basis, and 26,629 punts and sarpanchs are eligible to vote and contest for the post of the Block Development Council chairpersons. Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora will address a press conference in connection with the Haryana Vidhan Sabha elections in Chandigarh. The Election Commission team is visiting Haryana to review the preparedness for the assembly polls to be held on the 21st of this month. Well, good news for tourists who want to visit Jammu and Kashmir. The travel restriction to visit Jammu and Kashmir will be removed from today. The decision to withdraw the advisory was taken by the state governor after a situation cum security review meeting with the advisors and the chief secretary of J&K. Security restrictions have been withdrawn from several parts of J&K over the past few weeks. In addition, the governor has been paying attention to bringing back life to its normal pace in the state. The J&K administration had issued a security advisory on August 2nd, 2019, asking Amarnath Yatra pilgrims and other tourists to make an exit from Kashmir without delay, citing an impending terror threat in the valley. The ambitious Pradhanmantri Innovation Learning Program Dhruv will kickstart from ISRO in Bengaluru today and conclude on the 24th of this month at IIT Delhi. 60 brightest and talented students from science, mathematics and performing arts have been chosen for the program. It aims to further sharpen innovative imagination skills and knowledge of the students who are expected to contribute to bringing solutions to socio-economic, political and environmental issues in the country. Human Resource Development Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank said after getting training, the students can contribute to making the vision of a $5 trillion economy a reality and also provide a solution to climate change.
इस कार्यक्रम को हम ध्रुव कह रहे हैं, ध्रुव, और इन बच्चों को हम ध्रुव तारा कह करके पुकार सकते हैं। हमारी कोशिश है कि जो 10, 12, 14 दिन का जो ये अभियान है उनके साथ का, इस पूरे अभियान में वो विभिन्न क्षेत्रों का दर्शन करेंगे, परामर्श करेंगे, नया नवाचार करेंगे, कोई नई चीज़ को मंथन करके और अमृत निकालने की कोशिश करेंगे और अंत में जो 23 तारीख को जो दिल्ली IIT में इसका जो समापन होना है, इस समापन के अवसर पर हमारी कोशिश है कि प्रधानमंत्री जी का भी आशीर्वाद इन ध्रुव सितारों को मिल सके, ध्रुव तारों को मिल सके।
Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad on Wednesday visited Patna Medical College to inquire about the well-being of the dengue patients treated at the hospital. Around 35 patients are being treated at the PMCH. He met the patients and the medical officers and also instructed the authorities to provide the best possible treatment. The state witnessed an upsurge in dengue cases during the current spell of flood and waterlogging. As many as 1,150 dengue cases have been reported in the hospitals across the state of Bihar. Ravi Shankar Prasad said that the centre and the state government are working together to control the outbreak of the diseases.
प्रदेश सरकार, भारत सरकार सब लोग मिलकर काम करेगी, कोई कमी नहीं होने दी जाएगी। हमारे पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं ने, युवा मोर्चा के कार्यकर्ताओं ने यह भी आग्रह किया है, किसी को ब्लड की आवश्यकता होगी वो ब्लड भी दिया जाएगा। हम लोग सब लोग इसीलिए घूम रहे हैं कि बाढ़ के बाद जो जनता ने बड़ी हिम्मत से बाढ़ की आपदा को झेला है, तो बीमारी से किसी को परेशानी नहीं हो, इसीलिए मैं यहाँ आया था।
Well, Patna Medical College and Hospital Administration has clarified that the reports of dengue outbreak is false.
पटना मेडिकल कॉलेज में आज की तारीख में 16 मरीज भर्ती हैं और सबों का इलाज चल रहा है। डेंगू के बारे में जो एक भ्रांति फैल गई है कि ये पटना में महामारी के रूप में उभर कर सामने आई है, उसको पटना के बहादुर जनता ने और स्वास्थ्य विभाग की टीम ने और आपके जागरूकता ने झूठा प्रमाणित किया है। क्योंकि 26 तारीख से जब से पटना में पानी आया और पानी के जाने के बाद, जमाव के बाद, आज तक पटना मेडिकल कॉलेज में जो राज्य का शीर्ष अस्पताल है और पूरे बिहार से मरीज आते हैं, टोटल 119 मरीज यहाँ आए हैं। और इतनी बड़ी संख्या ये नहीं है क्योंकि सामान्यतः इन दिनों इसी संख्या में मरीज आते हैं।
In a bid to solve its hunger and plastic waste problem, at the same time, a unique garbage cafe scheme has been launched in Chhattisgarh's Surguja district. State Health Minister T.S. Singh Dev on Wednesday inaugurated the garbage cafe at Ambikapur, which is set up by the city's municipal corporation. At this cafe, rack pickers and the homeless will collect plastic waste, and in return, the municipal corporation will offer them food. Persons fetching 1 kg of plastic waste will be offered a full meal, while those collecting 500 grams waste will get a substantial breakfast. and the collected plastic will be used to construct roads. The cafe's aim is to create plastic-free Ambikapur, a town rated as the country's second cleanest city and bestowed with the Swachh Sarvekshan Award 2019.
प्लास्टिक के दुरुपयोग को और उसके साफ सफाई से जुड़ी हुई बातों को इस सोच में ढाला कि आप 1 किलो आधा किलो प्लास्टिक हमारे पास एकत्रित करके लाइए, हम आपको भरपेट एक भोजन देंगे या आधा किलो के पीछे एक नाश्ते का सेवन कराएंगे। अंबिकापुर ने प्लास्टिक के अभिशाप बन रहे परिस्थिति को उससे निजात पाने के लिए एक ऐसी सोच को विकसित किया, तो सब आश्चर्य से आज बधाई दे रहे हैं। तो नगर निगम को बहुत बहुत बधाई।
A large part of our country's population consists of people who cannot bear the burden of expensive medicines. Pradhanmantri Jan Aushadhi Yojana is proving to be a great help for such people. Pradhanmantri Jan Aushadhi Kendra of Uddham Singh Nagar in Uttarakhand is proving to be a boon for the sick and the poor people.
The Pradhanmantri Jan Aushadhi Kendras in Uttarakhand's Uddham Singh Nagar are proving to be of great help for poor patients. So far, medicines worth 1,37 lakh have been sold through these centres. Nearly all generic and non-generic medicines are being made available to the patients at a 70% discount at the district Aushadhi Kendras. People of the district are getting direct benefits of this. This effort by the government is benefiting the people a lot.
मार्केट में जो दवाई मेरे को बहुत महंगे रेट पे मिलता था, अब यहाँ पे जन औषधि खुल गया, यहाँ पे सस्ता दवाई मिलता है और टाइम से मिल जाता है। हमें कोई परेशानी नहीं होती है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं होती है हमें।
Since the opening of the Jan Aushadhi Kendra, people no longer have to run around to find medicines. A resident of the city feels that after the Jan Aushadhi Kendra has opened, the medicines are now available at much cheaper prices.
पहले बाजार में बहुत महंगी दवाइयाँ मिलती थी, अब जब से प्रधानमंत्री जन योजना खुला है तब से हमको सस्ती दवाइयाँ मिल रही हैं और अच्छी दवाइयाँ मिल रही हैं।
5 Jan Aushadhi Kendras have so far been opened in Uddham Singh Nagar, which provided great relief to the residents from expensive medicines. Bureau Report, DD News.
Prime Minister's Skill India campaign has infused new energy not only in the youth but also in the elderly living in rural areas. Along with technical skills, this energy also imparts skill about developing financial strength. After associating themselves with the Skill India campaign, the women of Gauri Kund in Uttarakhand's Pauri Garhwal district are now making LED bulbs by themselves. With this skill, their financial situation has improved and at the same time, it has also made them independent. Here's more.
Amit Rawat, who hails from Pauri Garhwal in Uttarakhand, received training in making LED bulbs under the Prime Minister's Skill India campaign. Upon returning to his village, he told the women's group about his training. The women of this group, who till now were involved in farming and animal husbandry, saw great potential and scope in making LED bulbs and thus asked Amit to start making the LED bulbs in the village itself.
मैंने 12वीं पास करने के बाद स्किल इंडिया से ट्रेनिंग लिए LED बल्ब बनाने की। अब हम यहीं गांव में अपने गांव में LED बल्ब बनाते हैं। मेरे माता पिता और मेरे गांव के लोग को मैं सिखाता हूं LED बल्ब बनाना।
There were great obstacles in the practical execution of this highly technical skill in the village, but the group faced them courageously and started making LED bulbs under the leadership of Amit. The situation today is that this work is being done in the entire district. The LED bulbs made by this women's self-help group are of great technical standards. This group is also making inverter bulbs that give a backup of around 2 hours in case of power outage.
खेती तो हम पहले से करते थे, पर ये सब्जी उगाने का 5 साल से कर रहे समूह के माध्यम से। तो अब फिर हम बल्ब बनाने का काम कर रहे सर, हमें रोजगार भी मिल रहा है, यहाँ बैठ के हम बल्ब बना रहे।
Prime Minister's Skill India campaign is helping in empowering women. Such schemes are infusing new energy in their lives. Bureau Report, DD News.
Well, moving to international stories, 3 researchers won the Nobel Chemistry Prize on Wednesday for the development of lithium-ion batteries, paving the way for smartphones and a fossil fuel-free society. John Goodenough of the United States at 97, the oldest person to be awarded a Nobel Prize. Britain's Stanley Whitcomb and Japan's Akira Oshino will share the 9 million Swedish kronor prize equally. Turkey, meanwhile, has launched a ground offensive in northern Syria hours after its warplanes and artillery began hitting territory held by Kurdish-led forces. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said that the operation was to create a safe zone cleared of Kurdish militars, which will also house the Syrian refugees. The offensive was launched just days after President Donald Trump withdrew the U.S. troops from the border area. The unilateral decision was being widely condemned, with the European Union urging Turkey to end its offensive. European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker called on Turkey to stop its military operation in northeast Syria, adding it could not lead to good results. Meanwhile, the United Nations Security Council will hold an emergency meeting today to discuss the recent Turkey offensive in northern Syria. The meeting is called at the request of the 5 European members: Britain, France, Germany, Belgium and Poland. The UN Security Council's president had earlier appealed to Turkey to protect civilians and exercise maximum restraint in its military operations in Syria. The Arab League is also convening an emergency meeting on Saturday to discuss Turkey's offensive against Kurdish forces in Syria. Following a request by Egypt, the foreign ministers of 22 member countries will gather in Cairo on Saturday to discuss the Turkish aggression on Syrian territory. The announcement came after Turkey launched airstrikes and artillery fire along the border with war-torn Syria earlier in the day, drawing international condemnation. Meanwhile, thousands of Syrians fled on foot and by car from the border towns of Tel Abyab and Sarikani. Amid deepening humanitarian concerns, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres urged all parties in northeast Syria to exercise maximum restraint and protect civilians. The US Secretary of State has meanwhile said that the United States has not given Turkey a green light to invade Syria. He, however, said that Ankara had legitimate security concerns. The U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo also defended the Trump administration's withdrawal of military support for Kurdish forces in Syria. U.S. Democratic presidential contender Joe Biden made his first call for impeachment of U.S. President Donald Trump. Biden said that by obstructing justice and refusing to reply with a congressional inquiry, Trump has already convicted himself. Trump has, however, denied wrongdoing and dismissed the probe as a witch hunt. The Democratic-led House of Representatives opened impeachment proceedings against Donald Trump on September 24th over a phone call he had with the Ukrainian president on July 25th, in which he asked the Ukrainian counterpart to investigate Biden and his businessman's son, Hunter Biden. Well, time now to get us the latest in the world of finance and business. Let me welcome my colleague Arun on board.
Thanks, Anil, and let's begin with the top news of the finance world. Well, let's begin with the last street news. Well, Sensex yesterday ended with a stellar gains. Now Sensex was up by 646 points to end at 38,178 points. Well, Nifty also reflected the same mood and ended at 11,313, up by 187 points. The Reserve Bank of India has rejected the proposed merger between Laxmi Vilas Bank and Indiabulls Housing Finance. The rejection comes after Reserve Bank of India last month put Laxmi Vilas Bank under the prompt corrective action framework due to a high level of bad loans, lack of sufficient capital to manage risks and negative returns on assets for 2 consecutive years. The companies had announced the merger in April and sought approval from RBI on 7th of May. And country's largest telecom operator Reliance Jio has announced that its customers will now have to pay 6 paise per minute for voice calls made to other phone networks. However, the company also announced that it will compensate customers by giving free data of equal value. The 6 paise charges will remain in place till the time telecom operators are required to pay other networks for mobile phone calls now. Now, Jio users will have to buy an additional IUC top-up voucher for all outgoing calls to other mobile networks. Postpaid customers will also be billed at 6 paise per minute for outgoing calls with increase in free data entitlement. Now, this will be the first time that Jio users will have to pay for voice calls. Currently, Jio charges only for data, and voice calls to anywhere in the country and to any network are free. Interconnect user charges, that is IUC, is a charge paid to the telecom or network on whose network a call terminates and has been a bone of contention among the private players and the sector regulator. 2 years ago, the sector regulator TRAI had brought it down from 14 paise per minute to 6 paise per minute and decided to scrap the charge from January 2020. Now, recently TRAI decided to seek views on deferring the implementation of the zero IUC regime, saying that millions of subscribers have not moved to voice over LTE or VoLTE or a data-based network, which was expected to lower the cost of generating a call, rendering IUC redundant. Now, the country's largest lender, State Bank of India, has announced that it has reduced MCLR, that is marginal cost of lending rate on loans, all across tenors. Now, SBI has also reduced interest rates by 10 basis points across all tenors with effect from today. The 1-year MCLR would come down to 8.05%, a year from 8.15%. Now, this is a bank's 6th consecutive cut in MCLR in fiscal year 2019-20. Well, so that's it in today's finance world. But for other news, back to you, Anil.
Well, thank you, Arun, for those updates from the world of finance. Well, moving from finance to sports, after a 203-run win against South Africa at Visakhapatnam, India would want to continue their dominant home run and seal the series with a win in the second test match in Pune. On the other hand, the visitors would aim to secure their first win on Asian soil in 4 years and keep the series alive.
Improving on near perfection would be India's aim, while building on the small positives from a huge loss will be South Africa's focus when the two teams clash in the second test starting from Thursday. Virat Kohli's men ticked almost all boxes during their 203-run win in the opening encounter in Visakhapatnam, and they would like to maintain the same intensity in their bid to seal the series in Pune. It is difficult to improve upon a perfect show, but trust Kohli to find a new challenge for his team in his pursuit of excellence. Rohit Sharma's 2.0 blockbuster re-entry into Test arena as an opener with twin hundreds worked wonderfully well, with Mayank Agarwal also showing signs of making every chance count as he did with his maiden double hundred in Visakhapatnam. India's opening woes, at least for the next 4 tests, have been taken care of. While India, unless forced by an unforeseen injury, are unlikely to change their playing 11, South Africa might be tempted to drop one among Senuraman Muthaswamy and Dane Pete, who were taken to the cleaners by the Indian batsmen. If Pete is dropped, the Proteas could be tempted to try Lungi Nigiri, who could make a difference with his pace and movement. The key for the Proteas would be to bat first and bat big, if they are to have any hopes of causing an upset. In any case, it will be an uphill battle for the visitors. Sports Desk, DT News.
Well, moving to women's cricket, India started the ODI series on a high, winning the first match against South Africa by 8 wickets at Vadodara on Wednesday. The whole chased down 165 runs in 41.4 overs with 8 wickets in hand. Indian women now lead the 3-match ODI series 1-0. Priya Punia scored an unbeaten 75 runs from 123 deliveries, including 8 fours in her ODI debut. Julan Goswami scrapped 3 wickets, while Shikha Pandey, Ekta Bisht and Poonam Yadav took 2 wickets each for the host nation. The second ODI will be played at the same venue on Friday. Indian women's cricket team captain Mithali Raj has become the first female player to last more than 20 years in international cricket. She achieved the feat while leading India to an emphatic 8-wicket win over South Africa women in the first ODI at Vadodara on Wednesday. Mithali, who made her ODI debut against Ireland on June 26, 1999, completed 20 years and 105 days in the 50-over format. The right-handed batswoman, who has now played 200 ODIs till date, the most by a female. 36-year-old Mithali, who retired from T20 cricket last month, has also played 10 test matches and 89 T20 internationals for India. A second-string Sri Lankan team whitewashed top-ranked Pakistan 3-0 by registering a 13-run victory in the third and final T20 international on Wednesday night. Needing 54 runs of the last 5 overs with 8 wickets in hand, Pakistan once again stumbled in its run chase for the third consecutive time in the series and was restricted to 134 for 6. Sri Lanka won the first match by 64 runs and then beat Pakistan by 35 runs before Pakistan failed yet again on Wednesday night in front of a packed 27,000 fans at the Gaddafi Stadium. Leg spinner Wanidu Hasarange claimed 3 wickets in 2 overs to finish with 3 for 21 and also grabbed a well-judged catch at long on boundary to dismiss danger man Imad Wasim as Pakistan batting crumbled in the last 5 overs. Early after winning the toss and electing to bat first, Sri Lanka scored 147 for 7 despite resting 5 players who had featured in the 2 earlier victories. Well, time now to take a look at the top stories published in the newspapers from the national dailies in the national capital. Our first look is at the Mail today in the inside pages, Tamil Nadu rolling out a red carpet for the Xi Jinping Modi meet, and this talks about how the preparations are underway ahead of that second informal summit between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping in Mamallapuram on Wednesday. They are going to meet there for 24 hours. The agenda of the meeting and the extension of the Wuhan meet. That's what is being given in detail on how the city is being getting a facelift for this big informal meet between the two leaders. A look at the Hindustan Times today on the front page, and this is a positive look at a story. Post Dussehra, the pollution in Delhi has been the lowest in 5 years, but there is a word of caution that the air quality could dip sharply next week. As of now, on October 9th, 2019, the weather here seems to be really good, but people in the national capital breathing the cleanest air in 5 years for a day that falls that immediately after Dussehra, the environment monitoring officials on Wednesday, but warned there's still a word of caution. You need to be careful for the week ahead where things could get bad. Moving ahead to our next look at today being October 10th and today being World Mental Health Day. Colleges need schooling on dealing with anxiety. This is a story that's appeared in the Times of India in the city pages. Students battling depression, often victims of disconnect between counselors and teachers and administration. The mental health is an issue of concern for each and every one of us because 75,000 students have killed themselves in India between 2007 and 2016. That's the data, and there is a 52% rise in student suicides from 2017. This is just a year-on-year basis data between 2016 and 2017. In 2016, 9,474 kids had committed suicide. This is according to a reply that has been given in the Lok Sabha. The reasons for rising depression and anxiety is zero communication with parents, over dependence on gadgets, mollycoddling of children, and instant sense of gratification. The 4 reasons, and if you look at the world over numbers, 56 million, that's the people with depressive disorders in India according to 2015 as per the WHO study, and 450 million people across the globe suffering from mental or neurological problems or disorders in 2015. Shocking numbers. One need to be careful. We need to get out of our over dependency on gadgets and start talking to our parents and start talking to our near and dear ones. Our last look is at the Hindu on the sports page. This is the Committee of Administrators. They have now communicated to the Tamil Nadu Cricket Association, the Haryana Cricket Association and the Maharashtra Cricket Association, 3 associations that had their constitution not in terms with the BCCI constitution approved by the Supreme Court and hence will not be allowed to take part in the BCCI AGM or the election that's scheduled to be held in Mumbai on October 23rd. So surely a change in plans there and something to look forward to as the 3 state associations from Tamil Nadu, Haryana and Maharashtra being asked to stay away from the BCCI AGM on 23rd of October. Well, time to take a jog down memory lane and look at all the important events that took place on October 10th in history.
Padma Vibhushan R.K. Narayan, Indian writer and leading figure of early Indian literature in English, was born in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Narayan's The Financial Expert was hailed as one of the most original works of 1951 and Sahitya Academy Award winner. The guide was adapted for film and for Broadway. Indian child labour activists Kailash Satyarthi and Pakistan's Malala Yousafzai jointly shared the Nobel Peace Prize for 2014. Revolution in China began with a bomb explosion in Wushang, Hubei province and the discovery of revolutionary headquarters in Hankow. Revolutionaries under Sun Yat-sen overthrew China's Manchu dynasty. The revolutionary movement spread rapidly through west and southern China, forcing abdication of the last Qing emperor, 6-year-old Henry Pui. Angela Merkel became Germany's first female chancellor and its first leader from the former communist East.
Well, after a jog down memory lane, it's time back to come back to the present and take a look at the events listed for today.
President Ramnath Kovind to begin his 3-day official visit to Karnataka to participate in various educational, religious and judicial functions. President Kovind will flag off the centenary celebrations of the erstwhile Mysuru Maharaja at the famous Royal Amba Vilas Palace. Union Minister for Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal to attend the meeting of trade ministers of the 16-nation RCEP grouping in Bangkok. Union Minister of Health and Family Welfare Dr. Harshvardhan to inaugurate the 13th conference of the Central Council of Health and Family Welfare at Lodhi Road in New Delhi. Madhya Pradesh government to host prestigious 19th Indian Television Academy Awards in Indore. This is the first time that Indian Television Academy Awards are being organized outside of Mumbai. World Mental Health Day to be observed. The day provides an opportunity for all stakeholders working on mental health issues to talk about their work and what more needs to be done to make mental health care a reality for people worldwide.
Well, every 40 seconds, someone loses their life to suicide. This is according to the World Mental Health Day that's been observed today to raise awareness about the scale of suicide around the world and the role that each of us can play to help prevent it. Thus, the theme this year is suicide prevention.
World Mental Health Day is being observed. It is an opportunity to raise awareness of mental health issues and to mobilize efforts in support of mental health.
Today, 10th October, is World Mental Health Day. This year, the theme for World Mental Health is suicide prevention and mental health promotion. When somebody loses their life, at least 135 people gets affected by this loss of life or by the suicide. If I say 135 people, that means it is your family, it is your friends, it is the people who are connected with. The person should be aware and the family should be aware. Any change in the behavior of the person, like not getting isolated, the person is getting withdrawn, not communicating with the family, friends, crying without any reasons, no? And expressing the thoughts that the life is not used, life is worthless, there is no point in living, and also no, there is a lack of productivity and some isolation. At times also we see that if somebody is silent and they speak too much, no, so that is also a warning sign.
According to WHO, more than 8 lakh people die by suicide every year, making it the principal cause of death among people between the age of 15 to 29 years. Suicide is a global public health problem that deserves the attention of the action in the field of mental health. Suicide is a preventable cause of death.
It's important to share, talk to the other person who you can trust. If other person not available, go to the doctor, talk to psychologist, or talk to anyone who you trust. Avoid alcohol, avoid any drugs, talk to the people, change the lifestyle, start doing some activities, like meeting people, socializing, getting engaged in cultural activities, speaking to the doctors, doing some yoga, meditation, do some breathing, because breathing, once you do the breathing, deep breathing, it also helps in regulating your nervous system. So a lot of things can be done.
There are numerous complex factors that contribute to a suicide, but it is important that our actions be geared towards prevention. Raising community awareness and breaking down the taboo is important to make progress in preventing suicides. Kiran Bhardwaj, DD News.
Well, auto rickshaws are a familiar sight on the roads of Delhi. Today, we tell you about a special auto and the driver. Harjinder Singh uses his auto more like an ambulance whenever he spots someone in need. He has been that invisible guardian angel on the streets of the capital for decades. This is his story. Let's take a look.
This auto on the roads of Delhi is not an ordinary one. It works as an ambulance that comes to the rescue of accident victims on the streets of the national capital. This special auto belongs to Harjinder Singh. He's 76 years old. He has driven auto to earn his living all his life and now uses his vehicle to save lives. Anyone in need can call Harjinder for help and they will be dropped to the nearest hospital for free. His auto also has a first aid kit should someone require immediate primary medication.
तो चलिए बात करते हैं हरजिंदर सिंह से, जो है हमारे आज के हीरो। बहुत बहुत स्वागत है हरजिंदर सिंह आपका डीडी न्यूज़ में। आप इतना अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, किस तरह से आपने इस मुहिम की शुरुआत की?
आयुर्वेद का कोर्स किया और अब मैं दवाइयाँ रखता हूँ, जैसे शुगर की दवाई है और बवासीर है, दमा है, अस्थमा है, किसी को स्टोन की बीमारी है, पत्थरी की बीमारी है, या लेडीज़ को लिकोरिया की बीमारी है, तो ऐसी दवाइयों का मैंने कोर्स करके अब वो मैं सेवा करता हूँ। और इसके साथ साथ कोई भी मरीज मुझे मिल जाए अस्पताल जाने के लिए या कोई सड़क पे इंजर्ड मिल जाए तो मैं विक्टिम को उठा के तुरंत अस्पताल पहुँचाता हूँ और सेवा करता हूँ। परमात्मा के आगे विनती करता हूँ कि इसका जीवन दो और इसके जीवन बचने से उसके परिवार में खुशियाँ आएगी और मुझे सेवा करने से खुशियाँ मिलती हैं।
Rains or bright sun, Harjinder leaves for work every day at 8 a.m., eager to extend a helping hand and a healing touch to those in need. His service to the society has been recognized and awarded on many occasions. Harjinder teaches us through his work and dedication that a little compassion from our end can often help save precious lives. Shala Nagar's report for DD News.
Well, Delhi's only free ambulance auto service there run by Harjinder, true ambassador there of helping people. Moving ahead, the veteran Bollywood actress Rekha turns 65 today as she celebrates her birthday. Best known for pivotal roles in Umrao Jaan, Silsila and Khoobsurat, Rekha has acted in more than 180 films in a career spanning over 50 years. She has won 3 Filmfare Awards, the National Film Award for Best Actress, and in 2010 she was honoured with the Padma Shri by the Government of India. Born as Banu Rekha Ganeshan but widely known as her stage name Rekha, was born on the 10th of October 1954 to Tamil actor Jimini Ganeshan and Telugu actress Pushpavali in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu.
शहर में तुम जैसे, इस शहर में तुम जैसे दीवाने हजारों हैं.
Well, on that positive note, it's time now to take a look at the weather in your city. Well, before we end this edition of Breakfast Show, we leave you with a positive thought to kickstart your day. Never hate those people who are jealous of you, but respect their jealousy because they are the ones who think you are amazing. Our image of the day for glimpses from the grand gala held at the closing ceremony of the International Horticulture Exhibition in Beijing. Take a look, have a safe and wonderful day ahead. Bye-bye.
当梦想开始飞翔了。